On the first day with my wealthy biological parents, I was so excited that tears welled up in my eyes. Seriously, who would have thought that literally the very next second my biological mother would slide a bank card across the table with a cold face and say, "1 million a month. You don't have to truly treat me as your mother, but in front of outsiders you'd better act the part." Everyone probably thought I'd throw the card on the ground, cry like crazy, and accuse my mother of being heartless. Yeah, nah. Instead, I got even more hyped. I dropped straight to my knees and said, "Mom, nah, boss. Just watch me handle it." She frowned and added, "We brought you back this time to arrange a marriage alliance for you. The partner is some used-up damaged goods." But after hearing that, not only did I not get angry, I got even more fired up. I suddenly jumped to my feet, my face full of righteous indignation, and said, "This is a big job. You're gonna have to pay extra." Later, my fiancé looked at me with red eyes and said, "I'm sorry. I'm not a good woman." I just smiled and shrugged. What a coincidence. I'm not after the person, I'm after the money. Chapter 1. The first day back at the Wong family. My biological mother Rosie placed a bank card in front of me. I need to verify the card. That was my first reaction. I took out my phone, typed in the card number and password, checked the balance, tapped the screen a few times. No problem with the card. Then I tried to look calm, but the corners of my mouth refused to cooperate. Rosie frowned. 1 million a month. Just act properly outside and don't embarrass me. I instantly dropped to my knees. "Boss, don't worry, just watch me." Ms. Rosie, the mother I had only just reunited with, clearly wasn't expecting that move. "Get up. Don't talk nonsense," she said. "You don't have to truly treat me as your mother, but you still need to call me Mom." "All right, Mom. Whatever you say." I stood up neatly. My knees hurt a little, the marble floor was hard as hell. But the grin on my face never disappeared. 12 million a year. Forget acting like a loving mother and filial son. If she told me to bark like a dog right there, I'd howl louder than anyone else. Chapter 2. Rosie leaned against the sofa. "Let's get the ugly truth out first," she said. "Your younger brother Makoto is an obedient child. To the outside world you two are brothers. You're the older one. He's the younger. At home, he is my son and the heir of the Wong family. You'd better remember your place." Right. My name is George, and my younger brother is Makoto." I stood straight like a pole, practically ready to salute. "Don't worry. As long as the money's there, Makoto, no? Young Master Wong is my big brother. I know my place. I'll be young Master Wong's loyal sidekick and serve him properly." At that moment, a young man quietly walked down from the second floor of the villa. That was my biological younger brother, Makoto. Makoto looked me up and down with undisguised contempt. "So this is my long-lost brother? What are you even wearing?" "Ugh, tacky." I glanced down at myself. Yeah, it was cheap street market stuff. Not fancy, but hey, at least my butt wasn't hanging out. According to the usual novel plot, this would be the moment where I should clap back bravely and deliver some genius counterattack. After a fierce verbal battle full of wit and courage, I'd defend my dignity and earn the admiration of the Wong family. But am I that kind of guy? The bank card in my pocket hasn't even warmed up yet. "Young master, sharp eyes," I said with a flattering grin. The same kind of sincerity I once used when convincing dancing aunties in the plaza to buy health supplements. "Young master, your judgment is spot on. I grew up in the countryside, chasing pigs today, herding chickens tomorrow. Of course I'm tacky. As for this older brother thing, that's only for outsiders. From now on you're my big brother. I'm counting on you to let me enjoy the good life, young master. I've just arrived. Please take care of me." Yep, my cowardice was executed perfectly. My wave of shameless flattery left Makoto completely frozen. His mouth hung open, but no words came out. Just when I was about to keep the momentum going and pledge even more loyalty while the iron was hot, Rosie spoke. "Enough. As long as everything's clear, let's eat." Chapter 3. As expected of a wealthy family, lunch was ridiculously lavish. While I was busy stuffing my face, bowl in one hand, chopsticks in the other, a middle-aged man walked into the dining room. This man was my biological father, Simon. So this is the one who came back from the countryside. He took off his coat and sat down. When he saw the way I was eating, he frowned. No manners. I couldn't be bothered to respond. Anyone who's worked like a corporate workhorse knows that part of your salary is basically compensation for swallowing your pride. This humiliation? Yeah, it's part of the job. Simon drank a few glasses of wine, and when he saw me still demolishing the food, he glared again. Look at yourself. Since you're back, you'd better follow the Wong family's rules. Don't go out there embarrassing the Wong family. I calmly kept chewing on the lobster, rolled my eyes, and ignored him. Seeing that I didn't respond, Simon assumed I was scared and got even cockier. He swirled the red wine in his glass. Come to think of it, this brat is lucky. Got lost when he was little, and now that he's back he can conveniently handle that situation. That Liu family is really unlucky. When rats give birth, each generation is worse than the last. That family is basically a pit of fire. If our Wong family weren't considering business, who would even bother dealing with them? It's disgusting. Perfect timing. A tacky country bumpkin matched with trash, just the right lid for the right pot. A perfect match. My biological father Simon spoke in a mocking tone while staring at me. Meanwhile, I chewed on abalone and thought quickly. What exactly is this old man's problem? My mother putting pressure on me. That's to set rules and stop me from getting stupid ideas. My younger brother being hostile. That's because he's scared I might threaten his position as the eldest young master. Fair enough. But Simon, this so-called father of mine, we're basically connected by nothing more than a single sperm cell. Do we even know each other? Then it hit me. My father actually married into the family. So the three of us, Mom, my brother, and I, carry the Wong surname. He's law. With a strong-willed wife and a grown son in the house, Simon Law's position is easy to imagine. Oh, so the old guy is trying to find some authority by picking on me. But here's the real question. My $1 million a month salary includes tolerating my mother and brother's bad tempers. Does it include tolerating my mother's husband's nonsense? I glanced at my mother Rosie. Her face was expressionless, but her eyes were ice cold. Got it. Chapter 4. I stood up and flashed my father Simon a bright smile. Then I grabbed a wine glass and smashed it straight into the plate in front of him. Food, sauce, and wine splashed all over Simon. He froze for a moment, then roared. Have you lost your mind? Are you rebelling against me? I shouted even louder. Dad, have you had too much to drink? You're talking nonsense. Who is the Liu family? Even I, someone who just came back, know that the Liu family and the Wong family have been close business partners for years. And yet you're insulting them here. What if word gets out and damages the relationship between the two families? What if the Liu family withdraws their investment? You're digging up the very foundation of the Wong family. Simon was suddenly hit with such a massive accusation, he almost choked. Why you? That's bullshit. I'm just saying a few things at home. Walls have ears, I said seriously. You may be my father, but you're also a son-in-law who married into the Wong family. To put it bluntly, I'm just the tacky country bumpkin they brought back from the countryside. And you're basically a kept man living off the Wong family. We both live off their money, but you can't eat their food while smashing their pot. Who gave you the guts? Those words hit Simon right where it hurt. He trembled with anger, but couldn't say a thing. Enough. My mother Rosie's voice cut through the room perfectly. Looks like everyone's finished eating. Let's call it a day. George, come with me. Chapter 5. After lunch, in the study. You're very clever, Rosie said. Thank you for the compliment, Mom. I stood obediently with my hands folded. Do you know why we brought you back? I smiled. Surely it's not because blood is thicker than water and you've been longing for your long-lost son. Rosie smiled too, but hers was full of mockery. The Wong family and the Liu family are arranging a marriage alliance. The Liu family's daughter, well, she's basically used goods. Although the girl does have some ability, damaged goods are still damaged goods. She's not worthy of entering the Wong family. So this marriage will be yours. You'll marry into the Liu family as their son-in-law. Oh, of course. There's no such thing as free money falling from the sky. So this is the catch. In simple terms, the Wong family and the Liu family need a political marriage alliance. But my mother Rosie dislikes the Liu girl. First, she thinks the girl is dirty. Second, she doesn't want a capable daughter-in-law around to get in her way. However, the business partnership must continue. So they generously decided to send one of their sons away. That son is me. A wealthy family marriage alliance. A substitute groom. A fiancé with a questionable reputation. Damn, this is a big job. You'll have to pay extra, I said without hesitation. Rosie paused, then laughed. This time the smile looked more genuine. Deal. She took out a new bank card, and pushed it toward me. There's 30 million here as an advance. From now on, you'll also receive an extra 500,000 each month as psychological compensation. As long as you keep the Liu family satisfied, I'll personally decide that you get 20% of the Wang family's assets. I took the card with both hands and slipped it into my pocket. All right then, Mom. Don't worry. No matter what condition Miss Liu is in, I'll polish the situation until it shines. Good. The meeting is tomorrow. Go prepare yourself. Understood. Chapter 6. Willow, the eldest daughter of the Liu family. My arranged marriage partner. I met her in a private club. Amid the blasting music, this legendary young lady was sitting among a group of monsters and demons. And I mean that literally. The private room was packed with cosplayers wearing wings, tails, horns, and all kinds of weird accessories. As for Willow herself, she was dressed in men's clothing. Her hair had streaks of white, green, and red, bright, chaotic colors that immediately grabbed attention. Bold, rebellious. That was my first impression. She was sprawled across the sofa with a cigarette in one hand and a drink in the other, her face full of impatience. Oh, so you're that tacky guy the Wang family brought back. I heard you raised pigs in the countryside. What's this? Did the Wang family send a pig farmer over to fatten me up like livestock? The room burst into laughter. I calmly shrugged, poured myself a drink, and sat down. Miss Liu must be joking. Raising pigs isn't easy work. Feeding them, preventing disease, waking up before dawn, and working until night. It takes skill. Taking care of you, on the other hand, should be much easier, as long as the money is good. You've probably heard, tacky people are the most obedient. Willow looked slightly surprised. Clearly, she hadn't expected me to be this straightforward. Her interest was obviously piqued. She sat up straight, about to speak, when suddenly the private room door slammed open. A man and a woman rushed in. Willow, the woman called. Then the man said, "Are you really going to marry some tacky country bumpkin?" Willow's face instantly darkened. Well, looks like I guessed right. Before coming here, I had carefully studied Willow's background. The woman was her best friend. The man was her first love. They grew up together. He was basically Willow's Prince Charming. But a month ago those two slept together, and Willow caught them in the act. Classic romance novel betrayal. After that, Willow finally agreed to the marriage alliance. Now that they heard she was getting married, they realized their financial support might disappear. So they came running to beg for forgiveness. Before Willow could respond, they turned to me. "You're that countryside guy, right? You're just here for the money anyway. Here's 5 million. Take it and go back to the countryside." 5 million. Who the hell do they think they're insulting? If they offered 500 million, I might actually lose my cool and think about it. But this tiny amount, it just made me speechless. I stepped forward and stood in front of Willow. "Please mind your words," I said calmly. "And more importantly, mind your identities. I am George Wang, currently Miss Liu's fiancé, the marriage partner officially recognized by the heads of the Wang and Liu families. You barge in here throwing money around to make me leave. Are you looking down on the Liu family, looking down on the Wang family, or insulting my professional ethics?" My rapid-fire speech stunned them. "What professional ethics?" they asked. I cleared my throat. "Taking care of and protecting Miss Liu is my job now. Right now my sponsor, my fiancé, is drinking to relax. You barged in yelling, crying, making a scene, and throwing money around. You're destroying my working environment. Are you questioning the Wang and Liu families, or insulting Miss Liu herself?" The ex-boyfriend's face turned pale with anger. "You tacky guy, how could you possibly be worthy of Willow? Willow and I grew up together. We've had a deep relationship for years." "A deep relationship?" I chuckled. "Deep enough to sleep with her best friend? I'm honestly curious how you even have the nerve to come here." I glanced back at Willow. She was watching the drama with great interest, clearly enjoying the show, not even trying to stop it. I sighed and continued my attack. "The mess between you two? I don't care. Whatever history you had with Miss Liu before, I don't want to know. But if you think you can rekindle things now, not a chance. Miss Liu already belongs to someone. The grass has an owner now, and that owner is me. No one else is touching her." My declaration stunned the two people in front of me for a moment. But after a brief silence they suddenly put on those pitiful puppy dog faces, obviously plotting to slip past me and start crying to Willow directly. "Yeah, nah. Enough was enough. Finally, Willow spoke. Have you two made enough of a damn scene? If you're done, get out. Willow's ex and her so-called best friend just stood there staring at her like their brains had short-circuited. What did you say? For this tacky guy, you. Out. Someone throw them out. Willow didn't even blink when she gave the order. A moment later, the two clowns were dragged outside. Willow slowly scanned the private room and rubbed her temple. I'm tired. Everyone can leave. You, George, stay. Soon the room was empty except for Willow and me. She looked at me with a half-smile. You were pretty sharp-tongued just now. So what kind of reward do you want? Oh, now this right here, is my favorite part. Without wasting a second, I whipped out my phone, opened my payment QR code, and presented it with both hands like some holy offering. Miss Lou, that little defensive battle against the cheating ex-boyfriend and the fake best friend backstabber just now, that was high-risk work. I deserve a hazard bonus. I grinned. Given Miss Lou's legendary generosity, surely you wouldn't feel embarrassed about giving a tiny token of appreciation, right? Willow raised an eyebrow. Why are you so crude? Is money the only thing you care about? I raised an eyebrow right back at her. Is caring about money a bad thing? I shrugged. Compared to people who run their mouths about true love while secretly plotting in their hearts, someone who openly admits they're after money is the cleanest person in the room. Willow froze for a second. Then suddenly, she burst out laughing and slapped the sofa. George, you're really something else. She stood up. Come on. I'll take you out for some fun. That afternoon, I didn't actually receive my hazard bonus. Instead, Willow dragged me through several luxury shopping malls and bought me high-end outfits from head to toe, plus a few expensive watches. And then, yeah, she straight up bought a luxury car on the spot. As a countryside bumpkin like me, I honestly couldn't even estimate the value of those luxury goods. But one thing was obvious. They were worth a stupid amount of money. So that evening, wearing the designer clothes Willow bought for me and driving the luxury car Willow bought for me, I took Willow herself to the restaurant she had picked. It was the kind of fancy Western restaurant where everything looks classy, costs a fortune, and still leaves you hungry. While I was struggling with a knife and fork like an idiot, battling a half-raw steak, Willow's phone rang. She glanced at it and hung up immediately. Then it rang again. Willow frowned and switched it to silent. I looked up. Those two from earlier again. Just answer it. Willow glanced at me. What? You're not jealous. Why would I be jealous? She tilted her head. Don't men usually care about that sort of thing? I chuckled and wagged a finger. No, Miss Lou. I'm here to work, not to fall in love. Being your husband is my job position, not my identity. As long as the salary arrives on time and the benefits are good. And hey, if there are some extra bonuses, then forget a second boss. I grinned. Even if there's a third guy, a fourth, or a fifth, I'll happily serve them all with a smile. In this regard, please trust my professional ethics. Willow stared at me like I'd just grown another head. George, do you really love money that much? I stopped wrestling with the steak and spoke seriously. Of course. Miss Lou, ours is a purely financial relationship. You're the boss. I'm the workhorse. Between us, money is the only thing worth talking about. With this marriage alliance, you can give the Lou family an explanation, stabilize the Wong family, and slap your cheating ex-boyfriend and fake best friend right in the face. This deal is simple. You pay for peace of mind, and I take the money and get the job done. As for me personally, I'm not after you, not after your heart, and definitely not after the Lou family's business. I'm only after the money. That's what you call professionalism. Willow stared at me for a long time. Then she picked up her phone and handed it to her personal assistant. Delete all contact information related to those two people. From now on, they are not to appear in front of me again. After saying that, Willow raised her wine glass. A faint smile curled on her lips. Suddenly, I think this marriage might actually be interesting. I lightly clinked my glass against hers and drank it in one gulp. Pleasure doing business. Great. The big contract is secured. This wine has real strength to it. Tastes just like pure money. That night when I got home, I dumped all the shopping bags right in the middle of the living room and immediately started searching online for information about the items. Once I roughly estimated their value, my brain switched straight into business mode. How do I turn this pile of luxury goods into cold hard cash? Just then my bargain bin younger brother Makoto walked into the living room. Makoto stared straight at the mountain of designer watches, clothes, and car keys. My eyes lit up. Young master interested? Just bought this afternoon. 99% new. Practically fresh out of the box. The estimated value is over $8 million. I'll give you a friendly discount. $6 million and they're all yours. So what do you think? Yes. I genuinely wanted to sell all these luxury goods to Makoto. Sure, they look nice. But for a countryside tacky guy like me, they're basically just golden dog chains and diamond-studded collars. Completely useless. Much better to convert them into cash. Rule number 1 for surviving in a wealthy family. Meat only belongs to you once it's in your stomach. Makoto rolled his eyes, snorted through his nose, and walked away without saying a word. Man, that was a little disappointing. With no other option, I could only list the items online and sell them slowly. Sigh. A few days later, Willow took me to a cocktail party. This event was insanely high-end. How high-end? For people surrounded me the entire time. 2 handled my styling. 1 dealt with the clothing, and another guy was specifically assigned to teach me posture and etiquette. By the time they finished fixing me up, I actually looked surprisingly decent. Almost like a refined scoundrel. As for Willow, she showed up in an exquisite evening gown. Honestly, once she dressed up properly, the girl really did have some charm. Willow hooked her arm through mine and whispered in my ear. So what happened to the things I bought for you? My heart skipped a beat. I forced an awkward smile. They're great, very valuable. Suddenly, a sharp pain stabbed my waist. I looked down. Willow's dangerously long manicure was digging straight into my side. Kid, if you ever dare sell something I gave you again, I'll have you neutered. The tacky guy did not dare speak. Fortunately, Willow didn't keep pressing the issue. We walked into the banquet hall together. Nervous? She asked, tilting her head toward me. Nervous? I almost laughed. Back in the day, just to make a little money from street stalls, I used to play cat and mouse with city inspectors every day at train stations and night markets. You had to be bold, careful, and thick-skinned. This place only has a few people, I said casually. They're just dressed nicely, that's all. What's there to be nervous about? Willow laughed so hard her whole body shook. Nice, George. That carefree, don't-give-a-damn attitude of yours. I like it. But then something unexpected happened. My father Simon and my younger brother Makoto also showed up at the cocktail party. Yeah, better keep my distance. No need to invite trouble and increase my workload. I was just about to pull Willow away when I noticed Simon and Makoto surrounding a middle-aged man and whispering to him. That middle-aged man looked familiar. His surname was Ning. I remembered him from the background information I had studied earlier. He was a key figure in a major business project. More importantly, Willow was currently trying to win him over for that project. Quietly, we moved a little closer. Mr. Ning, you should think this over carefully, Simon was saying. As the saying goes, no hair on your lips, so nothing you do is reliable. That girl from the Liu family is rotten to the core. How could she possibly handle something this important? How could you entrust your project to her? Mr. Ning's expression showed hesitation. Simon immediately pressed forward. How about this? Why don't we cooperate instead? I'll handle the connections, and my son Makoto will take charge of the execution. With the Wong family involved, you'll have nothing to worry about. Hearing that, Willow's face darkened, and she was about to step forward. I grabbed her arm. Relax. You don't need to go. I shrugged. Did you forget? You're the boss. I'm the one who does the work. Then I strode forward. Dad, what are you doing here? My shout instantly grabbed the attention of half the banquet hall. When Simon realized it was me, his face turned black. Why are you shouting? No manners. I stepped directly between Mr. Ning and Simon with a big exaggerated grin. Dad, usually all you do is drink tea and play cards. Since when did you start handling company business? My mom has said it more than once. Don't interfere with company matters. Don't interfere. Don't interfere. You can't even keep track of the servants' salaries at home. What the hell do you know about business projects? Why are you pretending to be some big shot here? Low laughter spread through the surrounding crowd. You little bastard. What nonsense are you talking about? Simon sputtered in rage. I stuffed a glass of wine into his hand. Dad, have a drink and calm down. If something happens to you, my mom will have to pay your medical bills. Then I turned toward Mr. Ning, instantly switching to a polite expression. Mr. Ning, please forgive the embarrassment. To be honest, the men of the Wong family are somewhat lacking. But Miss Willow Liu, Her abilities are well known in our circle. She has the Liu family behind her and the support of my mother Rosie. You're a leader in the business world. In the end, business is like a battlefield. Real capital decides everything. Behind me, Simon's lips trembled with fury. Shut up, George. You ungrateful brat. Are you trying to rebel? Mr. Ning was a shrewd man. He glanced around at everyone present, a faint amused smile on his face. Then he walked straight toward Willow. The young man makes a good point. Miss Liu, let's finalize the contract details another day and sign it. I calmly returned to Willow's side, completely ignoring Simon's furious curses and Makoto's venomous glare. Willow looked me up and down. Then she took my hand. Come on, she said. Let's go somewhere. Before the cocktail party even ended, we left together. By the riverside, the wind was pretty strong. Willow, wearing her off-shoulder evening gown, was clearly feeling cold. I took off my suit jacket and draped it over her shoulders. Why did you help me just now? She asked while staring at the river. That's a strange question, I said, a little confused. I'm paid to do a job. You're my boss. Protecting your interests is part of my duties. If your business collapses, who am I supposed to rely on for my salary? Willow spoke softly. Since I was little, no one has ever defended me like that, especially in business. My parents died early. My grandfather is very strict with me. If I'm not outstanding enough, then I'm nothing more than a tool for a marriage alliance. Over the years, I turned myself into someone like a man. I built a reputation for myself in the business world. I don't care what people say about me. I just can't afford to lose. Growing up, only those two people ever spoke to me sincerely. I never thought those two would also. Oh, those two. Her cheating ex-boyfriend and her backstabbing best friend. So that's the kind of trouble rich people have. When you think about it, they lack nothing. Except love. I clicked my tongue, walked over, and ruffled her hair. Willow, don't you think you're being a little ridiculous? She froze and looked up at me. In this world, there's no such thing as eternal feelings or eternal love. Real, tangible benefits are the only things that are truly reliable. Whoever treats you well, you treat them well. Whoever treats you badly, kick them straight out of your life. You're the eldest daughter of the Liu family with insane resources and wealth. And you're still getting sentimental about this? I pointed at myself. Look at me. I struggled around the countryside for years. Finally found my biological parents. And the moment I came back, I was told to marry someone on behalf of someone else. Did I complain? Because I know very clearly. Only when I have money can I live like a proper human being. I patted Willow on the shoulder, so stop sighing about it. Everything you have now is your confidence. There are plenty of people lining up to love you. Look at me. I'm already here, aren't I? Willow stared at me for a long time. Like, a really long time. Then suddenly she laughed. George, you're really obsessed with money, huh? I shrugged. Yeah, no point denying it. Nothing to be embarrassed about. After Willow had calmed down, I went to get the car ready so we could leave. I sat in the driver's seat and parked by the roadside. But Willow didn't get into the car. Instead, she walked around the vehicle, opened the driver's door, and leaned inside. In the cramped driver's seat, Willow's delicate face was very, very close to mine. So close that we could feel each other's breath. With her slender hands, she gently held my face. I will always have money, she said. I promise. George, I want you to keep working for me forever. Then her soft lips lightly pressed against my forehead. After that, she swung her long legs over the seat and settled directly into the passenger seat. Tacky. Drive. But I remained motionless, holding the steering wheel. After thinking for a long moment, I looked at Willow and said, Boss, we're not married yet. According to proper work procedures, I haven't reached the stage where I sell my body. So that kiss just now. You'll have to pay extra. Ugh. You hopeless money addict. Chapter 12. 1 month later, Willow and I held our wedding as planned. The entire ceremony could be described as extremely simple. Like, ridiculously simple. Which made sense. A notorious young heiress and a tacky live-in son-in-law from the countryside. The wedding was so simple it was almost just a formality. The guests were merely relatives and acquaintances from the Wang and Liu families. Willow and I didn't care. And if we didn't care, who else would? The only thing worth mentioning was that on the wedding night, Willow and I slept in separate rooms. Which was perfectly normal. I was here to work, not to actually become someone's husband. I understood my position very clearly. After the wedding, I gradually adapted to my new life. Just when I thought things would continue peacefully, something happened to the Wong family. My father Simon and my younger brother Makoto had teamed up and invested a huge amount of the Wong family's liquid funds into some so-called cutting-edge tech project. The result? The project owners ran away with the money. At the same time, a batch of projects under the Wong Group reached settlement deadlines. The Wong family's cash flow collapsed immediately. That evening, the three members of the Wong family sat neatly in the living room of the Liu family's villa. Simon looked exhausted. Makoto lowered his head, trying to make himself as inconspicuous as possible. Even my mother Rosie didn't look well. Simon ignored me entirely and spoke to Willow with a flattering expression. Willow, this time I misjudged things and suffered a loss. Right now, the Liu family has plenty of liquidity. Since you're the eldest daughter of the Liu family, could you inject $1 billion into the Wong family? Willow glanced at me and said calmly, for something this important, I'll listen to George. After all, he's my husband. Nice. She kicked the ball straight to me. 3 pairs of eyes instantly locked onto me. Out of respect for my job, yeah, I had to take the pass. We're not investing the money. Simon froze. What? What did you say? I said we're not investing. I took an elegant sip of tea and continued. In the entire Wong family, aside from my mother, you and Makoto are bottomless pits. Willow's money is part of our marital assets. Using my money to fill the hole you two dug. I don't agree. Simon exploded in anger. You ungrateful bastard. If it weren't for the Wong family, you'd still be feeding pigs in the countryside. Stop saying useless things, I replied coldly. You know exactly why you brought me back. You paid me, and I did the job. Now you want Willow to pay for your mess? Yeah, keep dreaming. At that moment, my mother Rosie, who had been silent the entire time, sighed. George, is there really no other way? I looked at the woman who had given birth to me. Inside there was no expectation, no emotion. Mom, when you brought me back there were 3 purposes. First, to play the role of a filial son. Second, to marry into the Liu family. Third, to stabilize the relationship between the Wong and Liu families. I've done all of that. But now you want the Liu family to bleed heavily just to patch the Wong family's hole. That job? I'm not taking it. Simon went completely mad with rage. He suddenly stood up, ready to lash out. But Willow reacted faster. With a wave of her hand, the Liu family's bodyguards immediately stepped in, surrounding and protecting us. Someone, Willow said calmly, show them out. That night, the 3 members of the Wong family were thrown out. Chapter 13. After the Wong family left, the matter didn't end there. Within a few days, a storm erupted. Cold-blooded rich heir drives his own father to death, refuses to save family business. Inside, the rise of the Liu family's live-in son-in-law, eating the Wong family's food while smashing their pot. Exposing the scandalous romantic history of the Liu family's eldest daughter. Similar articles flooded the internet, and public opinion exploded overnight. No need to guess, the Wong family had made their move. They had even teamed up with Willow's cheating ex-boyfriend and her backstabbing best friend to stir up chaos. The entire internet cursed me as an ungrateful traitor, a parasite, saying I didn't deserve to live. The Liu Group was hit hard. Its stock price kept falling, and Willow Liu's phone rang nonstop. At the peak of this storm, I went to the Liu Group headquarters for the first time and walked into Willow's office. Willow looked exhausted. When she saw me, she forced a smile. Don't worry. As long as I'm here, this little storm is nothing. For some reason, her words warmed my heart. I nodded and handed her a phone. The next day, several audio recordings began circulating online. 1 million a month. You don't have to really treat me as your mother. Just act the part in front of outsiders. We brought you back to arrange a marriage alliance. The partner is some used-up damaged goods. A tacky country bumpkin matched with trash, the perfect lid for the right pot. Public opinion ignited once again, this time sparking even greater debate. But now the narrative was no longer one-sided against Willow and me. Some people still cursed me as ungrateful. Others began to think my actions were understandable. Some questioned whether the entire incident was even real. And many were simply spectators enjoying the drama. The public conversation started to split. Once that division appeared, the Liu family's public relations team finally had room to act. They steadily pushed their strategy, muddying the waters and slowly waiting for the storm to pass. Those recordings were of course real. I had recorded them myself. Remember the first day I reunited with my family, the moment when I verified the card. After checking the bank balance, I tapped my phone a few times. That was when I started the recording. At first I only did it because I was worried the Wong family might go back on their word once they got what they wanted. I figured that if I had the recordings, at worst I could squeeze out a little compensation. I never expected that by pure coincidence those recordings would end up saving my life. Chapter 14. 3 months later, public opinion gradually died down. The Liu Group's stock price quietly climbed back to its previous level. As for the Wong family, they had already gone bankrupt and entered liquidation. My mother Rosie showed remarkable decisiveness. She auctioned off all the remaining family assets and took the Wong family members abroad to start over. One evening I walked into the dining room and saw a table full of delicious food and a huge cake. I looked confused. Willow, wearing a simple home dress, gently swirled a glass of red wine and looked at me. "Today is your birthday. I didn't organize a big celebration. Let's just eat and drink at home." I shrugged indifferently. I hadn't celebrated a birthday in years. This dinner, yeah, I could treat it as employee benefits. Maybe alcohol really does help people loosen up. Or maybe it simply gives cowards courage. As we drank more and more, somehow we ended up rolling onto the bed. That night the room was filled with warmth and intimacy. The next morning I looked at the ambiguous traces on the sheets, slightly surprised. I glanced at Willow. She looked away, a faint blush still lingering on her face. By silent agreement, neither of us said anything. Life still had to go on. And for a tacky outsider who accidentally stepped into the world of the wealthy, my money-making life had only just begun.